I don't know about you guys, but I'm starving. I don't like the idea of eating raw meat. But if you insist...
Todd, you're a freak. But I guess you already knew that, didn't you?
Can you go get some wood? Can you do that, hey?
No.
Go get some wood!
Jerk.
Whilst nature creates the potential, it's often man that exploits it. Studies have shown that 90% of investigated fires are started by arsonists.
Arson is a particular problem. The arsonists often light their fires when the conditions are really bad. So they'll often pick a dry, windy day to light their fires, and they're the most difficult days to control the fires on.
But there is something else that will quickly turn this small fire into a monster. Sydney is surrounded by the most flammable type of wood on the planet. Over 90% of the bushland around the city is made up of eucalyptus trees. Trees whose bark and leaves contain a highly flammable oil. An oil that in the heat of the day vaporizes to create a highly combustible haze that lies just above the canopy. As the fire reaches the trees, the explosive vapor ignites, accelerating the spread of the fire.
Fire! Everybody out! Come on! Rachel! Rachel, get out of here! There's a fire! Get your stuff!
There's a fire! You started, didn't you?
Get out of here! Get your stuff! Come on! Come on! That way! Go there! Go! 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 Forget your stuff! Forget your stuff! Just go! Go!
Rachel! Rachel!
G'day, Sydney. The fire season has started with one fire already being spotted in the Glendale Park region. Early reports suggest that the cause was holidaymakers. The fire department are saying that if this is the case, those responsible will be prosecuted.
The responsibility for coordinating all major firefighting operations in the bush falls to the rural fire chief.
Thanks, you too. Have they confirmed the cause of that first fire in Glendale yet?
A campfire got out of control. We're assuming it's an accident, but at the moment, it's impossible to tell.
Why do total fire bans always bring out the nut jobs? We don't have enough to deal with. You better warn the police that things are going to start getting busy for them.
I got good news, and bad news.
Okay, give me the second good news first and then improvise from there.
At the moment, it's a single fire. It started sometime last night. So we isolate it, we take it down, then we're all home by lunch. The bad news is that wind's picking up. So they're calling in the group officers just in case it gets out of hand.
You promised to stop extinguishing every fire in your path when we got married.
Which I did because I love you. Which brings me to the second bad news. Because, babe, I've got to go. Wish me luck.
Who's going to look after this place?
You're a fireman. I'm sure you can heat up your own frozen meal.
Hey, smarty pants. You forgot your water.
Fed by the heat rising from the parched landscape, the dry storm is gaining energy by the hour. The winds at its front fan the flames, increasing their spread. For the firefighters, it's now a race against time to get the situation under control.
Okay, what started it? Probably a campfire got out of control.
East Gate said there was a series of vehicles leaving in a hurry.
We didn't see any fuel, any possible accelerants. Thanks. Okay, fellas, come on!
The fire has spread from here to Alpha, Bravo and Charlie sectors. So far, we've managed to contain it. It's here in the Delta sector we're most worried. The latest weather data shows that storm's only an hour away. The weather people say it's a high one. We all know what that means.
The higher the storm, the less likely it is to rain. And because of the violent mixing of warm and cold air at the heart of the storm, the stronger the winds it generates. The group officer takes to the air to assess what effects the storm's winds are having, and then to coordinate the ground attack. With over 100 firefighters deployed to deal with the blaze, coordination is vital. They can only hope that the winds will not spread the fire beyond their control.
Send 3 brigades to map reference 27 Delta. Set a backbone all on the east-west ridge to the north.
The firefighters know their only hope of controlling the blaze is to cut off its fuel supply. Surprisingly, the best way to do that is to set even more fires. Fire is one of the few forces in nature that can defy gravity. It goes faster uphill than down. As the trees ignite at the bottom of a slope, the heat and flames rise, priming the trees further up. Now add the winds, and the fire is rapidly driven uphill. On the other side of the slope, firefighters set smaller fires which quickly burn up all the available fuel, so that when the main fire reaches the top, there is nothing ahead of it left to burn. It stalls and dies. It's an effective weapon against major fires, but it doesn't always work.
Backburning should be undertaken by very experienced people and in the right conditions. I've seen a lot of backburns make fires a lot bigger than they ever should be, and I've seen a lot of backburns put in that you wouldn't think you'd stop fires, that have stopped them completely, put in at the right time by experienced staff.
With the backburn a success and the fuel removed, the advancing fire is stopped in its tracks.
Nice work, everyone! That's a great backburn! Well done! Now, clear the area!
Maintain 800.
Using helicopters capable of dropping 9 tons of water at a time, any remaining fire is quickly smothered. Whilst on the ground, the mopping up operation begins. To stop any chance of smaller fires reigniting, the smouldering bush is stamped out and doused with water. It may be an early victory for the firefighters, but there is a grim reminder of just how deadly fire can be.
Glendale Base, this is 4582, come in.
4582,
Hold that report, Kate. Found this.
In the last 30 years, Australian bushfires have claimed over 200 lives and injured over 4,000. The fire season has claimed its first victim, but it won't be the last. With the fire extinguished, their attention now turns to the storm and a phenomenon far worse than the winds. Just under 70 kilometers from Sydney, the dry storm is growing, devouring the warm air ahead of it. The winds are blowing faster all the time, but it is what is happening inside the storm